Who's actually going to get the most out of a 4K home theater projector, and who should just keep the TV on the wall? If you're trying to decide whether the BenQ W2720i is worth the price tag, you probably have a few questions buzzing in your head. Will it work in a bright living room? Do I need a dedicated sound system, or can the built-in speaker hold its own? And, most importantly, will it feel like a true cinema upgrade or just a fancy piece of tech that gathers dust? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I get it, there's a lot of hype around smart projectors these days, with every brand promising AI-enhanced picture quality and built-in streaming. The real hesitation comes from the fact that most of us have limited wall space, varying ambient light, and a budget that can't stretch to a full home theater installation. You might be thinking, I love the idea of a massive screen, but I'm not sure I have the right room, or I already have a soundbar, so why does this even need a built-in speaker? Those are exactly the kinds of concerns that make the difference between a happy purchase and a regret. Let's break it down by looking at where the W2720i actually shines and where it falls short, so you can decide if it belongs in your living room or if you'd be better off sticking with a conventional TV. First off, the biggest draw is the APOED cinema mode. BenQ has calibrated the projector to deliver near-perfect color accuracy right out of the box, aimed at the DCI-P3 color space. For anyone who enjoys streaming movies on Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Disney+, you'll notice that the reds and blues feel more true to life, especially in scenes that rely on subtle color grading. This isn't just a marketing buzzword. People who've watched a movie on a calibrated monitor often complain that their TV looks washed out. The W2720i's AI algorithm adjusts gamma and color temperature on the fly, which can make a noticeable difference when you're watching a dark thriller or a vibrant animated film. Now, the practical side of setting this up. The projector throws a 4K image at 2500 lumens, which sounds impressive, but it translates to real-world performance that is highly dependent on your room's lighting. In a completely dark home theater, you'll see a bright, crisp picture that rivals a 100-inch TV. In a typical living room with some ambient light from windows or lamps, you'll still get a usable image, but you'll start to notice the whites losing a bit of punch. If you're planning to use this during the day or in a bright kitchen, you might need to invest in blackout curtains or an ambient light sensor to keep the image from looking washed out. One of the hidden trade-offs that people often overlook is the need for a decent throw distance. The W2720i is designed for a medium-range throw, meaning you'll need about 2.5 to 3 meters between the projector and the screen to fill a 100-inch diagonal. If your room is small, you might have to mount the projector higher on the ceiling, which adds installation complexity. I've seen a few setups where owners had to drill into the ceiling joist and run a short HDMI cable through a conduit. Nothing impossible, but definitely a step beyond plug and play. Audio is another area where BenQ tries to differentiate itself. The built-in Dolby Atmos 10-watt speaker is louder than the average projector, and the easy audio integration claim means you can connect a soundbar or external receiver via the 3.5mm jack or Bluetooth without a lot of fiddling. In practice, the internal speaker does a decent job for casual movie nights or gaming, delivering clear dialogue and a hint of surround feel, but it won't replace a dedicated home theater sound system. If you already own a quality soundbar, you'll appreciate that the projector won't fight with it for HDMI ARC bandwidth. You can simply route audio straight to your sound system. The Android TV platform baked into the projector is a mixed bag. On paper, you have access to YouTube, Netflix, and a whole suite of apps without needing an external streaming box. In reality, the UI can feel a little clunky on a projection screen because the remote isn't optimized for a TV-like interface. Navigating menus from a couch can be frustrating, and the app selection, while adequate, isn't as robust as the latest Roku or Fire TV sticks. If you're comfortable adding a separate streaming stick, you'll likely get a smoother experience. On the other hand, for a minimalist setup with no extra boxes, the built-in Android TV does the job. Where the value actually comes from is the combination of truly 4K UHD resolution and HDR10 HLG support. The 8.3 million pixel count means you can sit close to the screen without seeing the individual pixels, a real advantage if you like to get immersive, cinema-style viewing. In HDR mode, the projector can display deeper blacks and brighter highlights, which is noticeable in scenes with high contrast, like a sunrise or